Hello, welcome everyone. Today we'll discuss chapter 11, ordinary annuity, future value, and present value. This is the key for the business math and financial math for our course. This is basically we are using McGraw-Hill 2022. This slide is owned by Ernst, Jeremy, and Tracy. Again, this is the book that we use, Business Mathematics in Canada. Okay, this is chapter 11 books. There's about five learning objectives for this particular chapter. The first one is we define distinguish between ordinary simple equity and ordinary general annuity. Okay. Number two, calculate the future value and present value for both, and then calculate their fair market value for cash flow, including annuity, and calculate the principal balance owed on the loan, and then calculate the rate for payment intervals for general equity. All right, let's start this. Many business and personal transactions overseas over time. This happens when these payments are equal amount and occur at regular intervals. The key part here is equal amount and regular interval. That's called an annuity. Okay. What are the two much? The common example will be fixed term loan and retirement savings plan. Okay, retirement savings plan. Terminology. What are the terminology being used here? The time from the beginning of first payment interval at the end of the last interval is term annuity. This is an annuity. An annuity is a series of equal payment made at a regular interval. From 0 to n here, payment interval is the same. Okay. When I was working for BMO, they have an RRSP program, retirement plans. So I contribute about $100 every month from my paycheck. For every month they withdraw from my salary bi-weekly $50 a piece, so it's about total $100 a month. So every 2 weeks they do that. So this is the same thing as the typical annuity for the retirement at the time. Okay. All right, let's move on. The time frame between successive payment is called payment interval. Okay. The time from the beginning, this is the payment interval. This is from 1 to 2. It's called payment interval. The term is the time from the beginning of the first payment interval to the end, which is called the term of the annuity. Now, are the payment at the end of the payment interval? Yes. If it is yes, are the payment and the common interval are equal? If yes, then it's called ordinary simple equity. Okay. If it is no, it is called ordinary general equity. It is basically, if it is all the same, we call it ordinary simple. If it is not, then we call general. Okay. And then if this the payments are the payment at the end of the payment interval is no, if it is no, are the compounding payment interval equal, then it's gonna go all the way to yes, simple annuity due. If it is no, then will be go to the general annuity due. So annuity is classified depending upon whether the payment occurs at the end or beginning of each interval, ordinary versus a due. Also, whether or not the interest rate is compounded at the same time, frequency as the payment are made, which is simple or general. So that's the key part. Okay, if it is the same, let's call it simple. If it is not, will be called general. Okay, if this called, we call as simple annuity due. If it is not, will be called general annuity due. Okay, that's basically the key of this payment. What is the key part here? The future value is an annuity is the sum of future value of all the payment calculated at the end of the term. The future value could be calculated by using the compound interest formula and dealing with each payment individually. Okay. FE, which is the value of either annuity, PMT, which is the period payment in annuity, I is the period interest rate, N is the number of payment period in annuity. Okay. Future value, which is equal to PMT, close bracket 1 plus I, open bracket, close bracket, exponential n minus 1 divided by I equal to n. Okay, we're gonna look at the example here. Rob deposits at the end of each month into saving account earning 6% compounded monthly. How much will the amount for after 10 years? So you got the PMT 10, $200 here. I 6%, where you got coming from 6%. Where's the total coming from monthly, which is 0.5. N will be 10 times 12, which is 120. When you plug in the formula here, then you're going to plug in the numbers, then you get 32,775.87. So Rob will have 32,777 for 10 years. Okay, using the calculator, time value of money, as I mentioned to you in the previous chapter, this is the key decision N, which is the number of payment. EY is the nominal interest rate. Present value, PV, is the future value beginning of term. PMT is the period payment amount. Future value, FE. So Rob deposit 6 EY. Remember, 6, 200 at the end of each month. So you're going to key in 6 EY. Okay. And then second PY, which is second PY, EY. Second PY here. Okay. Which is what's here. Well, you said second is the yellow one here. That means the payment of compounding interval equal, you can put 12 and then enter. Okay, you put the 12 here, enter. This is the payment of compounding interval equal. Then you're going to do a second quit. So you're going to quit that logic. Okay, once you quit that logic, you're going to put 120 is N. Okay, that's the period. Then you can put 0, present value, and then the 200 minus, which is the payment. Once you do that, you're going to continue, compute future value. You got the answer is 32,775.87. So you calculate mathematically, and you by manual calculation, you calculate by calculator. So it's very important, guys, to understand that you need a calculator for this kind of work. Or you can use table as well. Okay, but the table is you have to look at in Google it. Okay, this is the one. Okay, contribution for each payment. Each payment will earn interest until the end of the term. Early payment will earn more interest because they are deposited longer. This is the first payment for 4 years, $14. Okay, second with the longer. Second payment is 3 years, 13.31 cents. Third payment 2 years, 12.10%. Here, 1 year is 11.10. And then 5 years is 10. This future is based on the 10% compounded annually. If you sum it up, you got $61.05. Example 2. Calculate the value of an ordinary annuity with payment of $600 6 months for 16 years. The rate will return will be 3.5 compounded semi-annually for the first 5.5 years and 5 years compounded semi-annually for the subsequent 10.5 years. So there's 2 rates here. Okay. So when there's 2 rates, you're going to draw a line. The first 5.5 years, which is about $600 here for every 6 months, but it is. And then the second one is going to be $600 for every 6 months, about 16 years, okay? Remaining 10.5 years. So the total is 10.5 years. The first one, 5.5 years. The second one is the remaining 10, this one, 10.5 years, okay? So once you do that, you're going to draw in the first value. This is N. This is 11 days. 11 coming from 5.5 times 2 because semi-annually. Okay, that's the first one. You get the future value step 1. And then you got the calculate the future value step 2. Which is N20 future value step 2. Okay. After that, you're going to calculate the now step 3, which is the NX20 step 3, which is future value 3. Because there's a rate changes, we must break the annuity into 2 smaller annuity, okay, as shown below. When we calculate the future value, each subunity, find the sum at the end of the 16 years, which is the focal date. So the first one, you're going to get a future value, which is PMT here. You plug in the number, you get 72008.91. 7208.91, okay? That's the first F1. Once you get the first F1 there, then you're going to calculate the future value for F2. Okay, 7281, you're going to plug in the number here. 7281, which is from here, you're gonna forward it back, calculate forward it back, you got the put in the number, you got 1.025.21 become 12,107. Okay, well, you got the 0.25 again because 5% divided by 2, which is 0.25. Okay, 21 where you got it coming from 10.5 times 2. Okay, that's how you get that number. Then after that, you're gonna calculate the step 3, which is PMT here, you got the 600, and you're going to calculate, you got 16,307. So once you get the future value 3, you're going to sum it up, okay, between the two. future value 1, future value 2, plus future value 3. Excuse me. Okay, so that's basically what it is. The total it will be 28,417.92, which is future value 2 plus future value 3. So when you calculate this number, you're going to calculate in the using a calculator. 3.5 EY, second is PY, 2 is enter, okay, because it's semi-annually, and the second is quit, okay, and then 11 is enter. Why is the 11 going to come in? This is 5.5 times 2 years, okay, and then 600 is minus payment, okay, and then 31, give an answer 7208. This is the first future value 1, okay. Once you calculate that number, okay, you're gonna do the same 5NY, 5EY, 21N, 7208.1, which is your present value here, compute for future value number 2. Future value number 2, you got 28,417, okay? That's how you get that number. All right. Okay, go back again. If you don't understand it, you go back again slowly to that logic given to you, okay? Go back to you or the first here. This is the logic here. That you get where they get that number from, okay? There you go. This is the 28,417, okay? You're going to go back again because this is you calculate manually. When you're going to calculate manually, you're going to go through all the process in a step-by-step process using a calculator. Show you how to get the first value of future value 1. After that, you're going to calculate in, because it is the same thing, you're going to put extra 5 EY for additional interest, because it's 5%, okay? 21N, why you got 21N? 10.5 times 2 is 21, which is the next 20.5 years. And then you got, we're going to put it again 7208 plus minus PV, compute future value. You got a total here, 28,417, okay? So let's go on to do skill check. 250 was invested at the end of every month for 5 years. Calculate the future value if the funds earn 6% compounded monthly. Marcos contribute 1,000 at the end of every 6 months for the next 6 years into an RRSP, and 500 or none for the next subsequent 4 years. What amount will he have in his RRSP at the end of 10 years? Assume that his plan will earn 4% compounded semi-annually for the first 6 years and 4% compounded monthly for the next 4 years. This is, so the first one and the second one is exactly the same with the example given to you in your previous slides. Okay, guys? So that's the step. Okay, take a moment, analyze this, and do the work. Okay? The answers. I'm going to give you the answers later. Okay? The answer for this one, I, is 17,442.51. The first answer will be 17,442.51. The second answer will be 41,714.85. The second answer will be, again, 41,714.85. Okay? Let's look at the present value now. Present value is the reverse. It's an annuity which is the sum of present value of all the payment calculated at the beginning of the term. Okay, we could calculate present value using compounded interest formula and dealing with each payment of individually. Okay, present value of the annuity, and PMT, which is the periodic payment. I is the same thing with periodic interest rate, and is the amount of payment annuity. When you calculate, you're gonna calculate here. This is the present value. This is exactly this minus n. Why this is minus n? Because it's present value. Okay, same kind of logic. If future value, which is there's no minus n here. Okay, let's look at the example present value here. Calculate the present value of a 10-year ordinary with quarterly payment of 500 using the rate of 8% compounded quarterly. So you're going to plug in the name, the number, PMT is 500, where it's coming from here. I is equal to 2%, where it's coming from 8%. J here, divided by 4 because it's quarterly, and it's got 10 years times 4, which is 40. Once you get that detail of the key elements, then you're going to plug in the number based on the formula, present value, you got 13,677.74. Once you have do that, you're going to go using the calculator. The calculator using a TVM approach, okay? The same thing, and the description interval all the way to the future value. Let's look at the compounded here, okay? Then we go straight to the calculator, 508, which is EY, okay? Well, you got EY, okay? Then we're gonna go straight here. Second is PY, which is the compounding period. 4 is enter because quarterly, and then you do a second quit to quit the logic of that compounded frequency. And 40N, where you got the 40N, it is quarterly. Okay, times 10 years. 4 times 10, which is 40, and 500 is your payment. Then you're gonna put 0 future value. Remember, it's 5 negative here, minus payment, okay? And then give an answer with this 13677.74. That's how you get that number in the calculator, okay? And then each payment is discounted at the beginning of the term. Later payment will become smaller because they are discounted at longer time. Basically, it's the reverse of the previous one, okay? If you if it is present value, so the longer the first payment, each payment is beginning of the term. Late payment will become smaller because they are discounted long term. The first one is bigger, but the later one becomes small because it's counted at a longer time. That's the key part. First year is 9.09, second year will be 8.27, third year will be 7.51, the fourth year will be 6.83, the fifth year will be 6.21. Okay, because why? Because it is discounted at later point. Okay, let's look at the next one, which is the fair market value calculation of an investment is the present value of a cash flow expected from the investment. If the investment contains regular payments, we can use the present value formula to help calculate the fair market value. If the payments are discounted at the current market rate of return, okay, excuse me, look at the fair market value. Okay, suppose the fund, let's continue. Let's suppose the fund purchase an annuity will earn 6% compounded monthly. What amount is needed to purchase an annuity, paying 1,000 at the end of each monthly for 20 years? Payment is 1,000. Okay, 6% is coming from here, divided by 12, which is monthly, which is you got the rate of 0.5%, and it is 20 times 12, which is you got the 240 here. So when you put in, you get all the key components, you just plug in the formula. The formula, when you plug in the formula, you calculate, you got 139,580.77. Okay, that's the first one. Okay. Look at the investment for pay $50 at the end of 6 months for 17 years. At the end of 17 years, the investment will pay an additional 1,000 along with the last regular payment of 50 payment. What is the fair market value of the investment if the prevailing rate of return similar to 8.5% compounded semi-annually? So the fair market value is present value of all of the payment that will be received. Okay, we can use annuity formula to calculate the present value of every 50 regular payment, and then we'll have to add a present value of single lump sum, okay, which have used in the chapter 8. Okay, let me remember here. Investment pay $50 at the end of every 6 months for 17 years. Okay, at the end of 17 years, the investment will pay additional 1,000 along with the last regular $50 payment. So looking at the fair value, market value of it. So we're gonna look at this logic component here. Payment is 50, 8.5 divided by 2, which is semi-annually, remember? So it's every 6 months, you got 4.25. And then you got 70 years times 2, you got 34. You're gonna fair market value of this, you're gonna put in the logic, you got plus. Then you got put plus, remember, you got 1,000 at the end, okay? And then minus 34 because of the last 17 years. Okay, so the fair market is combination of the first payment plus the 1,000 last payment. So the first one calculation here, you got 890.17 The second one you got 242.892. You got total is 1133.61. So guys, in this particular problem, we have two components. Okay, the first one you need to look at the present value of annuity is here. The second one you're going to get the present value of the second logic. Okay, but you get a lump sum payment of the end. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to combine these two payments into one. The first one is 890.715. The second one is 242.892. which is equal to 1133.61. So that this is the total value, okay? So when you put in the number using a calculator, you got 8.5 EY, okay? Second PY, which is the compounding period calculation, you got to enter because it is semi-annually, and then you got 34N because of 17 years time 2, okay? And then 50 day of payment, which is your payment there, and then 100 is your present value. This is supposed to be 1,000, guys, not 100, okay? 1,000. Okay, future value. This is a 1,000. Okay, this is to be corrected. Okay, later on I'll correct that. Compute future present value, which is 1183.61. Okay, that's the one. Second one, second example here, present value contract. Crazy at Furniture Mart is holding nothing down and no interest pay a sale. Customer can pay 6 month end payment with no interest charge. On such installment sales, customers sign a conditional contract. Crazy Edge immediately sell conditional contract to consumer finance company. The finance company purchases the contract discounted price that built in a rate of return of 15% compounded monthly. What will consumer pay for a 12,000 contract consisting of 6 payment of 2,000? So you're gonna lay it out, okay? You're gonna lay out this logic, this key component. Payment is 200 because it's 6 payment of 200. 50% is coming from here. 50% divided by 2 semi-annually. You got to monthly, not semi-annually. Monthly, because this is monthly payment. Monthly payment. There you go. Okay. Well, you got 12 is monthly. You got 1.25. Well, you get and 6% is 6. Okay. And is 6 period. 6 payment because of the 6 payment there. Okay. Once you do that, you get the key component. You plug in the formula, and then you get the logic here 1149.20. Okay, so guys, the key part of all problem solving is to find the first key components of the logic, such as payment, interest, and then the period. Okay, like here in this particular part is the payment is 200, I is 15% divided 12. Why is 12? Because it's monthly. Remember, guys, this is the key part. You need to know whether it's compounded monthly, quarterly, or yearly. So in this particular case, it's monthly. So it's what 15 by 12, you got 1.25%. And then the n, what's the n coming from? That's here, 6. Once you do that, you get the number, then you plug in the formula, then you get that answers, okay? All right, let's look at the skill check here. On this skill check here, a new loan of 8.5% compounded monthly requires monthly payment of 500.25 for 4 years. Rounded to the nearest dollar, what amount what was borrowed? Okay, that's number one. Number two is Robert wishes to purchase a 25-year annuity providing quarterly payment of 2,000 for the first 15 years and then 2,500 for the remaining 10 years. An insurance company has quoted him a rate of return of 3.5% compounded quarterly for such an annuity. How much will he pay for annuity? Okay. And then once you do that, the answer for this, actually, let me just go back again. This number one I, the answer will be 20,296. 20296. Okay. 20296. The second one, the answer will be 142,894.27. 142,894.27. Okay, 142,894.27. So you can try this at home at your time. Okay, all right, let's move on to the next one. Loan balance. Loan balance is the present value formula. It can be used to calculate the remaining balance on loan and agreement. Okay, loan agreement. Balance will simply be the present value at the remaining payment. For example, the required payment for a 5-year-old loan bearing interest at 9% compounded monthly is 249.10 cents. What was the original principal amount of the loan? What is the balance owed just for the 17 payments? So once you do that, you're going to put in the logic here, the key numbers. Okay, if PMIN is 249, I is 9% compounded by the 12, which is 0.75. Then you're going to calculate piece by piece. N equal to 60, so you're going to plug in the number 60 here. You got 1199. 9.99. Then the second logic will be n equal to 60 minus 17, you got a 43. So balance will be is 43 here. Okay, you got 9126.76. Okay, so guys, in this particular problem solving, you have to N. The first N is about 60, the second N after the 17 payment, which is about 43 here, okay? So the balance will be 9126.76, okay? So the loan is likely 12,000. The difference is just due to roundings, okay? That's the key part. The original is about 12,000 here, okay? The balance will be 9126.76, okay? All right, let's look at the next one, skill check. The monthly payment on the 6-year loan at 6.5% compound monthly are 600.75. What was the original amount of the loan? Why? Number two, what is the balance after the 40th payment? So the answer will be 29,788.94. 29,788.94. For the number two, the answer will be 14,675.76. 14,675.76. Okay. So what is the future value and present value of general annuity? Okay, it is common to annuities where the compounding frequency of the rate does not match the payment interval. To solve this type of general annuity, the first to convert the given interest rate to a compounding frequency that matches the payment interval. Okay, we learned this in chapter 9. Okay, so this is the logic. I2 equal to I plus I1 equal, close bracket M1 minus my M2 minus 1. So Rob deposits 600 each month into saving account. An example here. Earning 6 pound compounded quarterly. How much will the amount after 10 years? So after 10 years, you're going to put in the logic here. Payment is 200. The key one was the I1. The I, which is 6%, we can divide it by 12. After 10 years, into saving account, 0.5%. That is compounded. This is the each month. That's the key part. This is the each month. Okay. This is the key part. This is a little bit tricky because there's an each month here. Deposit each month. So between 6% divided 12 is 0.5%, and times 12 is 120%. So the first one will be to convert the rate 1. I2 equal to I2 equal to, this is the logic here. You just plug in the cake. The logic is 4 divided by 12 minus 1 equal to 0.116. Okay, and then step 2, solve annuity. You got plug in the future value, look at this formula, and then you got plug in the number here, and you get this 32,723.00. Okay, then the key part, at the end of each month into saving account, earning 6% compounded quarterly. How much will the account after 10 years? Okay, after 10 years. So this is quarterly, 4 divided by 12, that's the key part, per month, to get the rate, for the quarterly rate, because this is the quarterly rate, guys. This is the trickiest part. This is the quarterly rate, okay? Future value, PMT, when you got plug in a number, you plug in again here, PMT. Where did you got 120 coming from? It's because 10 years times 12 is 120. Why you got this percentage rate is coming from here? Okay, the key part is to figure out the rate here, because it's compounded quarterly. That's how you do it. No, the original calculation is the number payment, not the frequency of the original rate. Okay? That's the key part. We can use the TVM bottom as well. Using to do this, we set PY and CY appropriately. PY represent the payment per year. Again, PY represent the payment per year. CY represent compounding frequency. So when you do that, you're gonna put in the number 6 EY, second PY, 12 enter, underline, 4 enter, second quit, 120 is N, 0 is PV, minus 1 PMT. You're gonna compute future value. You got this number. Okay, that's how you do it step by step in your calculator. And then another example here, preferred share dominion trust. We pay about 75 cents per dividend at every quarterly year. Each will redeem in half years. From now on the redemption rate, the share will receive $40 per value each share in addition to the last regular dividend. What is the fair market value of share if the share is similar to the risk, generating total return of 6 plus 8.5%, compounding semi-annually? So you're going to put in the logic number first, figure out which one is which one. PMT is 0.75, I is with 6.5%. Here, compound semi-annual divided by 2 is 3.25%. But you get the N 8.5 times 4, because what? Because it's quarterly, 34. Once you do that, you're going to convert the rate again. Okay, you're going to convert 2 divided by 4, because remember is from quarterly to semi-annually. 2 divided by 4 minus 1. This is the number. Once you get the number, you're going to plugging in. This is your interest rate conversion. Convert the rate from, okay, quarterly to semi-annually. Okay, and then you got to plug in the number. Then you got the add here, the first logic here, the second logic here, 40. Why you got the 40 from? This is the second. Receive 40 each share in addition to the last regular dividend. So this is the first logic of the 75 cents. This is the second logic answer for this $40. So the adding now up is going to be 42.74. Okay, 42.74. So guys, look at this, analyze this a little bit. It's a little bit complex. It's a little bit complex because it has two components. The first one is 75% dividend. The second one, it has the last ball, 8 ball, is a 40% for the value, which is coming from here. Now the key part is to figure out the rate here. Okay, the rate you get here, confirmation of rate is 3.25%, but the M1, M2 is the key part. Okay, from quarterly to semi-annually, 2 divided by 4. Okay, all right. Once you do that, you're gonna figure out all of them up. You got the first one and the second logic here. The total will be $42.74. Okay, let's look at the next one. Skill check. An annuity consists of monthly payment of 650 for a term of 9 years using a normal rate of 7.5 compounded quarterly. Calculate the annuities present value and future value. For the answer for this will be number I is 51,031.40. Number 2 will be 99,602.88. Again, the answer for number I is 51,031.40. 51,031.40. The second one for future value will be 99,602.88. 99,602.88. So basically, this is the end of this chapter. I will post this in YouTube as well as in Edpuzzle, so you can do an interactive learning. Okay, that's the idea, for you to learn this interactively. This is one of the slides that I love the most because it has give you detail step by step on how you to do manually as well as you do it in calculator. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.